Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Go Native Farms. And today we're going to be taking a look at squash and powdery mildew and how to deal with this problem. As you can see, I have a pretty big garden of squash. We're looking at about 200 feet, and I'm going to tell you how I deal with this organically. I've got a nice video coming up, and I'm going to show you exactly how I deal with this stuff. So if you don't deal with this powdery mildew, it is going to spread like wildfire. This is powdery mildew right here and right back in here. And if you don't address it ASAP, it is going to definitely affect your yield. I hope you like the video I have coming up showing you guys how I deal with this in an organic matter. And I also have a nice video coming up where I'm going to be talking about these amazing Navajo Orange Hubbard that I have quite a bit of growing. So I will link that one at the end. Here comes the video on how to deal with powdery mildew. Have a great day. Please do like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the garden. Today we're going to be talking about powdery mildew and powdery mildew season, in particular on our squash here. Squash love to grow powdery mildew, and they love to start growing towards the end of August, early September, where I'm at. And if you look off in the distance, you'll notice you cannot see any mountains anywhere because it rained yesterday and it's pretty hazy and it's a very moist environment out here, which is going to be the perfect environment to grow powdery mildew. Cannot see the beautiful mountains in the distance. So let's turn around and take a look at this squash. Yesterday, when I was walking through here, this squash, which is doing really good, I noticed that there was one leaf with powdery mildew. Let's check out that leaf. I removed it, and that is the leaf right there, and that is your powdery mildew. Looks like you dumped a little bit of baby powder on there. And that is something you want to jump on really quick. And you want to start spraying that ASAP so it doesn't spread to all your other leaves. Now, as I walked around today, I don't see any powdery mildew anywhere, and I removed that leaf, but I'm keeping a close eye on it. Now, when it starts to get in your garden and get on your leaves, there's a couple things that I usually use. And if we take a look, we have a garden fungicide in that green bottle, and that is sulfur. You can probably see the ingredients down there, and it is sulfur. You can try that, or you can also try neem oil. And this is the neem oil that I've been using lately. It's a nice organic brand. I don't use any type of fungicides that I think would harm myself or my garden too much, and these are the two that I use. Now, you might need to be a little bit careful with any type of a fungicide because remember, we do have the beneficial fungus in the soil, the mycorrhizal fungi. So when you spray this stuff, spray it as little as you have to prevent it from dripping excessively into your soil because it could potentially harm the soil down there. So these are the two that I use. And then if I'm going to be using this neem oil, the neem oil is really good for a couple of reasons, because not only does that neem oil work as a good fungicide on the plants, but it's also pretty good for killing bugs. Now, you could try that on your squash bugs if you have any on your plants. I don't have too many this year because this is kind of a squash bug resistant type of a squash. But if you do have the squash bugs, then you can use that neem oil. And there's a lot of different recipes people use, but you could try a standard recipe of 2 tablespoons of an organic type of soap. A lot of people use the Castle soap. And then you could use 4 teaspoons of neem oil into 1 gallon of warm water, and you can shake that up. If you have a big job to do, you're going to want to use one of these bigger 1 or 2 gallon containers, because if you're trying to spray everything with one of these small quart-sized sprayers, then you're going to notice really quick that your hands are going to start hurting. So those are the two type of fungicides that I generally use on powdery mildew, and you definitely want to get on it really quick so you don't have that stuff spread throughout your garden, because it will spread like wildfire. Since we are smack dab in the powdery mildew season where everything is wet and humid, it's going to spread really quick. So don't waste any time. You want to jump on it really quick, start spraying that stuff. As we walk through here, we can take a quick look at some of these awesome squash that we have in here. They're really big. They're kind of everywhere, and I'm keeping a close eye on that powdery mildew because I still have a lot of new squash that are coming on the plant, and I would like for those to develop and be able to produce seed. But you can see we do have some young ones right there, a couple of them that are real small, and I'd love for those guys to finish out and produce seed, because these are a really rare seed which you can hopefully find at the Native Seed Search at the end of the year. And this is a really awesome squash called a Navajo banana Hubbard squash, and they get really big and they're pretty awesome. And I know you guys like your squash as well and don't want to lose them to powdery mildew. As we look around here, not seeing too much but of that powdery mildew, but it is going to be coming on fast and furious. And we'll just kind of walk down a little bit more and we'll take a look at a few more young squash that are coming on. And look at these vines. They're so long. They go forever. They go way down there. And there's another one doing pretty good down there. And we want to get as much seed as we can off of these really rare squash. So as soon as I see that powdery mildew, I'm keeping a close eye on it. And that is my tip for the day on how to deal with the powdery mildew. Now, the other thing I'm going to talk about is another fungus in my upcoming video that I was able to deal with that neem oil. And that fungus was on a peach tree, and it was on peach leaf curl. So we'll take a real quick look at the peach tree down here, and I'll show you how good it looks right now and how we were able to conquer that peach leaf curl. And there it is. This tree is quadrupled in size and it's doing really good. I probably need to put a little more fertilizer on there, maybe a little manure tea or something. But that's coming up. We'll talk a little bit about that and how you can treat your peach leaf curl. Thank you very much for tuning in, and if my videos help you out, please do like, subscribe, and share. In some upcoming videos, we'll be talking about this pretty awesome San Felipe melon, which you can see are kind of everywhere. They're doing really good, and I already harvested one and it tasted pretty awesome. All right, thank you for tuning in and have a great rest of the day.